TK's, Nick, what would be the impact to consumer spending be if the oil price crashed? Gas and consumer products would be cheaper. Thank you. TK's, yes, that's what happened in 2015. Man, I loved those days. I was, getting a gallon of gas, and it was like $2, and inflation adjusted, that it was dirt cheap for oil. So it was very nice, and it gave a big boost to consumer savings, and they were able to go spend it in different markets. Again, one saving becomes a benefit for another market in that case. It was just it hit oil markets quite bad. And I think you still have that same issue. You have overproduction. It's one of the few commodity markets that I'm iffy on, but I'm more focusing on a lot of the other outsider commodities like uranium, silver, and gold. Usually either the store value plays or on one that's an energy market that I believe has been way too bearish for way too long. It's more of a niche market as well. Most people don't focus or trade uranium. Crypto Hazard said this is probably done for the hard fork of Bitcoin Cash, just like in July of 2017. I know what you're referring to when there was the dip beforehand, the dip before the hard fork. Thoughts about that, Nick? Crypto maybe. It's a possibility, but I don't think they have the firepower like they used to commit to this. Not to mention, again, it's more of an end fight between Bitcoin, the Bitcoin Cash camp itself, right? Because Bitcoin Cash is splitting the two. But I don't know, you could be right on that. It's an interesting theory, nonetheless. Elizabeth, I did make one purchase, as I mentioned earlier on in the video. I bought about $1,000 worth of Bitcoin. So hopefully that answers your question. I'm limited on how much I can buy on certain exchanges, and I'm not dealing with Gemini anymore because I can't connect one of my bank accounts with there, which sucks. But I think Craig is... Yeah, WWF Squadron. If you really think Craig is Satoshi, you need to get out of crypto ASAP. Yes, he would have proved that a long time ago through two very easy ways. A, making a transaction from one of the early unspent transactions in a wallet, or B, going on to his blog and signing Craig Wright. Satoshi, whoever Satoshi was, has a very high chance of either A, never revealing their identity, and we'll never know who they are, or B, is dead. So, so long as those Bitcoin don't move, it's almost as if you can denominate those million Bitcoin from the supply. But, we'll have to see. That's something that I could see justifying. If you saw Bitcoin moving out of Satoshi's supposed wallets, yeah, that could be a justification for something like this, but we haven't. Someone mentioned Nick Szabo's Satoshi. Maybe, yeah, Nick Szabo's a very intelligent guy. I would assume he probably doesn't like being accused of being Satoshi as much as that might be seen as a compliment. Crypto B still promised a Lambo at 100K. See you soon. Alright, Crypto B. Let's see here. Guys, please don't spam specific things in chat in all caps. That's not going to make me want to check it. Andres, can you check out this project, dctoproject.org? Thanks for... I'll definitely try to look into it, Andres. Mesh Jr. said this is crypto Black Friday. Feels like it. I picked up a little bit. If it stays low like this, guys, and holds this range, if not slowly starts to arch back up, I'm going to keep picking up some until it fills this gap of price action. Few $100 to go. Kip Brennan said, "Hey Datadash, just want to say you've taught me a lot and keep up the great work. Interested in more info on the project you're involved in." Oh yes, Project Genesis. We're having some great developments going, guys. We just had a few more people join on board, contributing part-time, and hopefully we'll open source a portion of the project in the next few months. It's just a matter of getting certain objectives complete, and I can't wait to share some of it with you guys. I'm really excited. Everyone we've talked to so far has really liked the concept, and it's something that we believe is practically achievable as well. But there's definitely still some problems we need to fix first. Ask Faisal, Datadash, why is it easier to track Bruno than Satoshi? So that's a good question. Why is it easier to track one anonymous individual over another? Well, because Bruno gave so much hints, and not to mention the team's already mentioned that they have a good tracking on who Bruno potentially is. So that's a good sign. But along with that, really the factor is that Bruno spoke so much. He gave away so much of his character in his words. And his messages. He even messaged after he exit scammed for the project. The whole rest of the team, honestly, seem like a genuine bunch of people, have a well-developed background behind them. Bruno, on the other hand, sounds like not only a narcissistic, but just an absolutely maniac, doomsday individual who's completely stepped away from the fundamentals of crypto, for at least what I read. And to try to break the law like that and exit on a project that you spent so much time on, I don't know. This makes sense. Boschman, no problem, man. Glad I could help. Mr. Harry Lasagna, I agree. Everyone just take a deep breath. This was nothing new. I like that. Phil, much contact with the Unibright team lately? Not too much. We definitely have, kind of slowed things down. My advisor role was really for the first, 6 to 12 months of Unibright existing, so now we've gotten kind of towards the later portion. But the project's still there. I'm keeping in contact with Martin and the rest of the team and talking with some of the advisors. We did a Q&A back a few weeks ago on the Telegram, so definitely very excited about what's coming. All right, we'll go ahead one last time, guys, and I'll kind of talk about what I think is causing this, because I know there's a lot of you coming in and out. To be fair, from what I can analyze in this, there is nothing so far that I can see from the sources I know, from the people I know in the space, as to what might be causing this. There's no Korean exchange ban, there's no Indian exchange ban, there's no China ban on Bitcoin. In fact, things have been quite to the contrary on fundamentals. So what's causing this? It's most likely a collective set of whales. over on BitMEX who have colluded to dropping the price and then shorting it on leverage. It's what's been happening for the past few months, and sometimes it happens in bigger waves. And also, the spot market can sometimes do the work for them once they've done enough. At a pure FUD. Alrighty. Boots of Leather said Bruno is a scapegoat alias used to exit scam. I wouldn't say that just yet. I would see if they find common IPs with some of the teammates, or with the investigation that they initiated. I think they'd probably not push for an investigation if they weren't certain that it wasn't any of the team members. So I don't know, Boots of Leather, you might be on something. I don't know if I fully believe they're Bruno. Crypto B, Kick selects Stellar over Ethereum for token launch. Interesting. So Kick, who created Kin, is going to be using Stellar. That's interesting. Check the BTC shorts before the dump. Let's go ahead and check shorts here. Yeah, this is the kind of like silly trading behavior I see, shorts rallying after prices come down. I mean, I think what's coming here is probably more confidence that, oh, we've smashed through 6,000. It's most likely we'll go to 5K or something. Maybe, but this is kind of counterproductive. You're supposed to kind of short when prices have yet to go down, but I don't know. Bertrand, yeah, I think there's going to be a lot of competing cryptocurrencies, but I think Bitcoin's going to be, more than anything, what's seen as a global store of value. I don't know if it's going to be currency for the world. Who knows? But I think cryptocurrencies will. Alrighty, we're going to close up the live stream here in just a few minutes, guys. As always, I want to say Crypto has a tweet, expect prices to 2014 levels, creating FUD. Do you hold Bitcoin Cash, Nick? No, I do not. Oh no, I do not hold Bitcoin Cash. And there's a reason for that, guys. You hear Craig Wright, and even, I think honestly, out of all the people in the Bitcoin Cash camp, I know a lot of you don't like Roger. I know a lot of people don't like Roger Ver. But I've talked to him. I met him personally. I gotta tell you, the one thing I'll place a bet on is that Roger really cares about getting adoption. That all being realized, this whole camp of people who have gotten behind a forked currency, the only thing they can make out of it is a speculative investment vehicle. Why? Because they are going to have to do everything they did for Bitcoin the past 6 to 7 years and copy that 6 to 7 years behind Bitcoin and build up an audience of people using it. Now, if you own Bitcoin, you have Bitcoin Cash. The problem is that I, for example, had personal friends of mine who were early investors in Bitcoin. They had no idea about Bitcoin Cash until months later, and it took them forever to figure out how to claim it, right? So, again, I don't think you're ever going to see Bitcoin Cash be able to catch up and compete with Bitcoin and to convince miners to secure Bitcoin Cash and its networks, or the different forks that we're going to get over Bitcoin's network. You're going to have to convince billions of dollars of hashing power to go over that way. It's really a question of whether or not you can believe that or not. I have a hard time believing that that's the case. So, anyways, we'll go ahead and answer one more thing. Freak helping Orange Man bad. I love the NPC memes. Too good. one last good question here. Thanks so much, Nick. It's very comforting that experts go through this with us. Sarah, I'm no expert, but I do appreciate that. That's very kind of you to say, and I'm glad I could help in that regard. Enjoy life. Thanks for keeping a cool head in these spicy times. Yes, let's call it a spicy downtrend. But Hashgraph, love Lehman Baird, totally awesome guy. Got to meet him in person, do an interview right after the event. I'm interested to see. I didn't invest, but we'll see how it goes. They've got a very long-term plan as a distributed network. Crypto B, don't worry, McAfee won't lose the bet. Oh, I like that. Thank you, Crypto B. All right, guys. So let's go ahead here, and I think we'll call it. I'm buying McAfee some barbecue sauce and a mini hot dog roll for Christmas. And that right there, I think, is a great place to leave off. It's the joke of the year. Thank you all so much for tuning in, guys. Again, don't FOMO, don't FUD, don't worry too much about what's going on, guys, because you can see, obviously, I'll leave you all with the key thing to take away. Whether it is Craig Wright, whether it is BitMEX Whales, there's not that much volume being traded, okay? It looks like a lot now because we've been in a very low volume market, and people are taking advantage of that. Doesn't matter who it is. People who have a weighted interest in Bitcoin's price going down are taking advantage of that, okay? So, again, markets have sell-off, markets have rallies, but above all, know that there's a lot of bad actors taking advantage of the current state of the market, where everyone's pretty much trading on leveraged exchanges or OTC. It leaves retail exchanges vulnerable to manipulation, and the image of that currency very vulnerable. So that being said, thank you guys so much for watching. As always, join the Discord, !Discord in the chat, and then I'll give you a link to join in. But until the next video, thank you all so much for watching, and I hope you all have a wonderful rest of the day. Talk to you all soon.
I don't know. I don't think banks are going to want to replace what's already working for them, or Swift isn't going to want to get replaced by Ripple, and so they're taking steps to counteract that. I think they could take share for something like Western Union, which they make something like $32 billion a year for remittances. It's absolutely possible. I don't know what you mean by number one as far as cryptocurrency. I don't think it's that kind of decentralized solution that we'd like to see in the world that's open source. We don't know the creator, allows people to keep their money in there. We know Ripple controls a lot of the amounts of Ripple in their possession they could sell. They do in fact sell every single month a certain amount, and they have publicly stated this. It's quite centralized and a few holders. There's not that many nodes that can be run. It's not a public node, it's a permissive node. So competing with Bitcoin, I can't with some of these other remittance services, it perhaps could take some of the spotlight from those. Okay, so let's see here. Okay, so there was this tweet that went out yesterday, which was November 13th. That was actually a promoted tweet right on the Google G Suite account, which has been since deleted. It said Google is giving 10,000 Bitcoin to all the community. It said we decided to make the biggest crypto giveaway in the world, and now you can make payments in G Suite, you know, all their different services, Google Mail, Google Photos, all this other stuff, using cryptocurrency. You can participate in this giveaway. So basically, it was a scam. It seems that it was an unauthorized tweet. Spokespersons from Twitter and Google don't know how this happened, although they are going to be investigating how somebody got access to do this, and it's something we see constantly. So even if you're going to be, you know, going to a verified Twitter page, be cautious, especially if something looks too good to be true. This was basically a sweepstakes where you would send Bitcoin and supposedly they would put you in a lottery to get some of this money, but it was absolutely not true. The account in question is currently on lockdown pending investigation, and it's something we see a lot, people impersonating other people, especially Elon Musk or Vitalik Buterin trying to give away ether or whatever it is. Just be cautious out there. I have my own impersonators. There's a new one that's on Instagram pretending to be me. It's like Crypto's News instead of Crypto's News, and I urge you caution if you're going to be interacting or getting messages from these accounts, or if they're trying to give away things. So this is really
How's it going, guys? It's CryptoBud here for today. Hey, this is